The third and last map that's going to be used for the selectionals in the IMBA Cup. The IMBA Cup is going to take place over about a month. Selectionals are coming up this Saturday, and here's a game on fins played by two players. If you were asked who are the best players to ever play this game, you might mention these two. So Tag Pebble going with land. You can see looks like he's gonna go what is this, 6 PGens, and then he's gonna go with the Air Factory. And he's taking on Mephy. He's going with 6 PGens and an Air. So very tight on power for both of these players. Today see you going with 2. Actually something strange from Mephy. He's going through the, well actually this is not strange, never mind. So you can see both ACUs going through the choke points. They're going to go through different choke points. Pebble gets 2 mask extractors, a few PGens, and he's going to go through the bottom. And now we have to mention that Mephy is using Seraphim, which is strange. Although Seraphim does have floating arty, so it's a little bit of an advantage on this map. We have a lone mech marine from Pebble. And Pebble is going to be in the selectionals for this cup. Unfortunately, we probably won't have Mephy, but if we had Mephy, he'd probably win it. That would be great. We also have Rock, both Tag Pebble and Tag Rock in this tourney. Be great to see if they face each other. This will be one of the historic games, so people shouldn't miss that. We got the 2 Selines at the choke points for Mephy. We can see this mech marine from Pebble actually getting through. If you can get to this Hydra, the ACU did not go to the Hydra. Sometimes Mephy takes ACU to the Hydra, but here just 2 NGs. If these 2 NGs die to this mech marine, it's going to be a huge win for. You can see Mephy just canceling. And yeah, this mech marine is actually chest bumping into those NGs. So early on, a great win for Pebble. Prevents the building of that Hydra and keeps on rolling through. This mech marine is not done yet. More mech marines getting through. See, the Selines have no gun stealth. And this is a lot of raiding from Pebble here. You see this mech marine here? It's going to be its 3rd kill. And more raiding through the top. Now we see actually a bomber, early bomber here from Mephy. But it looks like this NG through the middle gets taken out. So 4 NGs lost to the early mech marines from Pebble. More mech marines getting through. They're going to try to, so the Hydra's finally built, but we do see some Selines coming out. So we got to remember, this is what happens when you play with Seraphim. You don't have light assault bots, so you're going to get punished with these mech marines. See the Selines getting absolutely massacred, but finally a tank from Mephy. And actually, if you look at the score, a huge advantage for Pebble. So that early raiding really paid off. Pebble had that Hydra built much earlier, so a lot more power production, a lot more total power. But here come the ACUs. You can see it's very similar in how far they are in this game. An NG here from Pebble walking around. Most likely Pebble knows there is an ACU here. Since I didn't see one here, you can absolutely assume that it's there. And here comes a gunship, ghetto gunship from Pebble. We got to remember that there is air from Mephy, and Pebble's still rolling through with his ACU. It's a very nice ghetto protected by 3 interceptors. Might not have enough interceptors to shoot that down. If you're Mephy, and Pebble being very aggressive, still rolling through, killing off multiple mask extractors, got a nice force with them. We do see a T1 point defense from Mephy in case Pebble tries to roll through. And actually we do see Mephy now in Pebble's base with his ACU. See how much damage you can do. No point defense now for Pebble. This is perhaps a mistake, or maybe Pebble has other ideas. Pebble, yeah, so this is really the only thing that has happened that's been good to Mephy. The fact that he did get a PD and Mephy didn't. Of course, he's just a lone ACU. Looks like he is going to go to the Hydra. He just rolled straight through the base. 10 kills, killed quite a few units, but looks like he forgot what he was doing. He's gonna go back into the base now, and actually not getting shot by the ghetto. And yet another PD from Mephy that Pebble is shooting at. This ghetto actually missing Mephy. See, both players making mistakes, and Mephy is just running into the water now at 22 kills. Pebble has shut down power. For Mephy took out that PE plus the hydro, but lost a little health in the process. And now no more support for Pebble in the back here. It's all Mephy's units. Still air domination from Pebble, but a bomber is trying to get through. And I can see Mephy has also shut down the hydro for Pebble. Still quite a bit of health for Mephy. Now minute 8 here, if we look at the power, plus 210 for Pebble, plus 130 for Mephy. So both players have plenty of pigeons, now something like a push from Mephy through the bottom choke point. Pebble is in the water, so both ACUs did a lot of damage to the other's base, but this air dominance from Pebble, pretty huge. Now Mephy still with plenty of health, getting more kills, 30 kills now. For Mephy, we gotta remember for only 5 for Pebble. And here we're gonna have a fight. UEF on Seraphim, and Seraphim is running away. Seraphim does have that really high fire rate already, really good against units. Now with this, yeah, it looks like this ghetto is gonna be used to keep track of the Mephy's ACU. Could try to use that ghetto to capture those islands. Now we're seeing naval production from Pebble. If Pebble can get a factory, a submarine, Mephy's gonna have to come out of the water and die. Actually 40 kills for Mephy now. Mephy is gonna try to get out, and if he can rendezvous with his main land force here, he'd be in a much better shape than he is now. We can see the submarine being constructed. Right away from the factory, it's gonna be chasing this ACU. Now the ghetto is gonna go in for some more kills. Not sure if this is the original ghetto. If it is, there's a lot of kills in these mech marines. It'd be interesting to see those dropped off. But now it could be the end for this ghetto. A lot of interceptors for Mephy. And now some T1 flak. Here come the interceptors. They target the ghetto, and there it goes. But still air domination from Pebble. Now Mephy 43 kills pushing in. The submarine was too slow, and Mephy pushing in with his ACU plus this force. So that early advantage for Pebble is kind of slipping away. Now actually Mephy on the attack, and this air domination is currently not paying off. Once that ghetto was destroyed, and now Mephy can reestablish his base. We gotta remember Pebble is moving in with his ACU, but goes back into the water. This force right here is really outgunned, given that it doesn't have ACU in support. A 47 kill from Mephy's ACU, and a bomber comes in. So Mephy being very methodical here. 49 kills. Splits his force into a very nice PD here from Pebble. Pebble's still in the water with his ACU, deciding what he wants to do. Multiple submarines, so we gotta remember now Mephy, if he gets in a little bit of trouble here, he cannot go in the water anymore. Of course, he shouldn't get in too much trouble. And I was seeing some units from Mephy are going to try to attack through the top channel. And this PD is taken out by Artie, so Pebble very quickly losing his base. Losing multiple mass extractors. So now in terms of map control, big advantage for Mephy. No T2 whatsoever from either in mass extractors or in factories. Actually not too many factories either from Pebble. Now Mephy in the water, 63 kills. Looks like he doesn't even care about those subs, just way too much health. But this is dangerous from Mephy. He does have multiple forces, and actually now they're already taking out the PD. This is very dangerous from Mephy. 68 kills, goes into the water. if these two split forces get killed one by one, actually we do see Pebble's ACU, so this force is in quite a bit of trouble. That force is small. Yeah, this could be a blunder from Mephy. He gotta get units to his ACU as soon as possible. He can try to hit 80 kills and go back into the water, but he can't stay in the water indefinitely. And yeah, he's got to run to the other force. Now this force is completely gone with Pebble moving in at 32 kills. Mephy's running away now at 5,000 health. And a PD, very nice PD from Pebble. Mephy now with two submarines. Is there another one? No. Just two submarines here. 70 kills for Mephy. Mephy gets back on land and he's got to keep running. These units won't buy him too much time, but another stream of units coming in. Now Mephy takes the lead in terms of the score. He did wipe out most of the mass extractors from Pebble. Pebble absolutely has no mass except what he will reclaim. Now Mephy, it looks like he does get out of this situation. 78 kills. Once he hits 80, he's going to have so much health. It's going to be over. It looks like in this game, Pebble's ACU wasn't nearly as productive as it could have been. Still air domination from Pebble. You can see actually the NGs from Mephy going across to get a little bit of the mass. Pebble's going to try to rebuild. We got a Raider, more factories. Now Pebble pushing back with his ACU and a T1 force. 89 kills for Mephy on the ACU. So that was a very strong response from Mephy after getting beat with that ghetto early on. He was really in a pretty bad situation, and that early mech marine from Pebble, it really set Mephy back quite a bit, but Mephy just sort of marched with his ACU, took some risks, and got out alive. Shut down most of the mass production for Pebble currently. If we look at Pebble, he's reclaimed 6,000. Mephy at only 33,000, so I guess Pebble is supporting himself with that reclamation. Getting a few more factories here, but they are going to be in trouble. You see Mephy is going to attack with a force. Mephy always splitting his forces apart. 43 kills for Mephy now. Might see the ACUs meet each other. And this is going to be bad for Mephy. Mephy looks like he's about to take air. Absolutely nothing on those islands. And this force from Mephy is going to cause real damage to Pebble's brand new factories. Still haven't made any units. 500 mass invested, not going to pay back. You can see here at the base, it looks like a lot of focus on that air. And now you can see the situation for Mephy is basically surrounded, or Pebble. Mephy now at 90 kills, moving in. Mephy's going to do more raiding. He just has so much more units. He's got the luxury to force Pebble to doing whatever he wants him to do. You can see the NGs from Mephy being so aggressive. So what's the plan for Pebble? He is getting an upgrade. He has shut down his production. If he was to get the gun or T2, maybe a few T2 PDs here. And there goes the naval factory for Pebble. He still has a few subs. We see a lot of T1 bombers from Mephy coming in now. That was a lot of power production. And if at the same time this force can take out the Hydra, but it looks like the Hydra is going to be protected. Very difficult to get ACU upgrades once you're losing power like this. And Pebble just get the gun on his ACU. And we'll try to push back. So on Finns, we gotta remember crazy things happen, so it is possible to come back from very bad situations. A lot of mass to reclaim, so even though if you don't have too many mass extractors, if you can reclaim, but you gotta keep your power, so power is so important. And you can see Mephy understands that, just took out the Hydra, so if you look at Pebble's production, his power is still okay, but not as good as it was. And actually Pebble now pushing really strongly with that gun. He's completely pushed Mephy back and on the other side. Mephy has shifted his ACU, getting more units in this force. Looks like, yeah, Mephy is just sending all his units on the bottom here. Is just going to avoid this ACU. More T1 bombing from Mephy. That was some very nice bombing here, completely shutting down. Not completely, but taking away quite a bit of power from Pebble. And now Pebble's force might be in a little bit of trouble. You got to remember, the production from Pebble is not that strong, so he's got to be very careful about using that force, losing that force. And now we can see Pebble retreating back to his base. Yeah, this is a bad situation for Pebble. Mephy leading the way with 100 kills. Where's Pebble's ACU? Looks like Pebble changed his mind. I thought he was going to go back to the base. And nice. Coming through the top, more T1 bombers. That's a massive T1 bomber spam from Mephy. That's the difference between having power and not having power. And looks like Pebble's ACU is going to be the target of those bombers. While that's happening, Mephy is just methodically destroying Pebble's base. Doesn't look like it's a situation that you can get out of. For Pebble, he's moving the rest of his units to his ACU. He's going to try to survive as long as he can. But his base has been abandoned now, and it's just going to be slaughtered. This is the pillaging part of the war. You can see units dying very quickly with this arty. Pebble is going to try to come back and please get some kills. 93 kills now. Still doing microing and playing quite well. 104 kills for Pebble's ACU. Mephy at 108. So Pebble at the end came back, fighting over T1 bombers. Now we are seeing Pebble's heroic units dwindling away. Soon it's going to be just the ACU. You gotta remember, he still has those subs out there. And if we think back a little bit, Mephy was in the water in a very bad situation here, taking a risk. Pebble at 126 kills. Still has an NG here, so I'd think about rebuilding. Mephy making mass extractors at Pebble's starting position. Only 2 more tanks. One of these tanks, 1 kill. The other 3. And this anti-air actually has 10 kills. Very nice anti-air from Pebble. 137 kills on the ACU. So you can see how methodical Mephy is. He kills the weakest units first, and the ACU is last. Very protective of his units. Although at this point he could probably just move in. We are seeing torpedo bombers from Mephy, so he's expecting Pebble to go into the water. 140 kills now for Pebble. Looking at this ACU, he might actually be able to take on this force. Of course, he does not have the overcharge. That's one thing we got to remember. It'd be nice to put a couple overcharges here. 159 kills now, going low on health. Goes into the water. I actually see those subs get hit by the arty. Yeah, they were out of the water. Now we should see the torpedo bombers finish this. Pebble comes back out of the water. And at 28 minutes, Pebble finally dies. That was a very nice ISIS game. Hopefully we see games like this coming up. I completely missed. Pebble was making some power here in the corner. It's nice to see.